Assalamu alaikum. Hello everyone. I am Mr. Sai'd Abdul Mohsen with you, math teacher. Welcome back to school. Welcome back for the third term, the last term inshallah. Today we will learn lesson 6, chapter 6, lesson 6, page 259, lesson 6, adding mixed numbers. Today we will learn how to add mixed numbers. We learned before what the meaning of mixed numbers. Mixed numbers, it's a number and a fraction, like 2 1/2, 5 2/3, and so on. Okay, this we call it mixed numbers. Okay, let's read the first example in our lesson. The first example: Al slept 2 1/2 hours in the afternoon and 5 2/3 hours at night. How many hours did he sleep? He slept 2 1/2 plus 5 2/3 hours. So we will add to get how many hours did he sleep. We will add the two numbers or the two mixed numbers. To add these two mixed numbers, we have two ways. First of them, let's explain it for you. The first way, we add the whole numbers alone and the fractions alone. So we add the 2 and 5 firstly. 2 and 5 it's 7, so we write 7 here. Then we write add and open brackets. And then we need to add the fractions. Before we add these fractions, look carefully, they are unlike fractions. If you remember from the last term, the unlike fractions, if we want to add them, we need to make them like fractions finding LCM for the denominators. And the denominator here is 2 and 3, so we will write the LCM for 2 and 3, it's 6. If you don't get it in any way, you can multiply the denominators. 2 by 6 is 2 by 3, you get 6. What are the changes from 2 to 6? We multiply by 3, so we multiply up by 3, we get 3. Because 1 multiplied by 3, it's 3. And then down 3 to get 6, we multiply it by 2. So we multiply down by 2, we multiply up also by 2. 2 multiplied by 2, it's 4. Now we have 3 out of 6 plus 4 out of 6. And also we have 7. Don't forget the 7. So we write down 7 here. Sorry. We write down 7. And about the fractions, now we add them easily. They are like fraction. 3 out of 6 plus 4 out of 6 equals 7 out of 6. But don't forget 7 out of 6, it's improper fraction. So this improper fraction, we can write it as mixed numbers, or we can write it and a whole number and a fraction. So this 7 out of 6, we can write it as 1 and 1 out of 6. Sorry, 1 and 1 out of 6. Why? Because it's 7 sixths, by the way. The 7 has 6 sixths, and that's so it's 1. So we write the 1 and 1 out of 6. So we can write 7 out of 6 as 1 and 1 out of 6. This 1 as a whole number, we can add it to the 7. So the 7 becomes 8. The whole number 7 becomes 8, and the fraction beside the 8, it's 8 and 1 out of 6. So the last answer is 8 and 1 out of 6. Okay, that's about the first way to add 2 1/2 plus 5 2/3. What about the second way? The second way depends on converting, or how to convert mixed numbers into a fraction or improper fraction. Let me explain it for you. 2 1/2 To convert it into mixed to improper fraction, we multiply the whole number. It's 2, 2 by 2, it's 4, and then we add the numerator to them, the number up. 2 multiplied by 2, 4, 4 plus 1 equals 5, so we write up 5. And down, we don't change anything, so we write down the 2, the same 2. The second mixed number, 5 multiplied by 3, it's 15. 15 plus 2 up, it's 17, so we write 17 up, like that. Now we have 17 over 3, the same, we don't change it. Now we have two fractions, but they are unlike fractions. What should we do? We need to make them like fractions to add them. Here we have 2 and 3 like the last one. So the LCM for 2 and 3, it's, yes, really, it's 6. So we write here 6, and here is another 6. Okay, the changes from 2 to 6, yes, very good. We multiply by 3 down. If you multiply by 3 down, you have to multiply by 3 up. So we multiply up 5 by 3. 5 multiplied by 3, it's 15. So we write up 15. And the second fraction, we have 2 multiply 3 by 2 down. And up also we multiply by 2. So 17 multiplied by 2, it's 34. Let's do it step by step. 7 multiplied by 2, it's 14. 4 and carry up 1. Then we multiply, regroup the 1. 2 multiplied by 1, it's 2. 2 plus 1, it's 3. So it's 34. Now we have two like fractions, so we can add them easily. We write the same denominator, 6 down, and easily we can add 15 plus 34. 5 plus 4 equals 9, and 1 plus 3 equals 4, so it's 49. But now we have an improper fraction. We need to make it mixed number, so we can divide 49 by 6. It's, yes, very good, it's 8. If you divide 49 by 6, it's 8. So we can write 8. And the remainder is 1 from 49 to 48. From 48 to 49, it's 1. And down we write the same 6. So it's 8 and 1 out of 6, like the last answer in the first way. The same. So I'll slept 8 hours and 6th hour a day, in both afternoon and at night. Okay, the same answer. Example number 2, you can do it by yourself. You can add, simplify if it's possible. At the end you can make it in a mixed number. Okay, let's go for the next term in our lesson, the next part in our lesson. Now we turn to page 260 to solve exercises on this page. Exercise which is called step by step, add, simplify if it's possible. Here, let's start solving them. Let's zoom in for you. Number 1, exercise number 1. Here we have 3 and 4 over 10 plus 6 and 2 over 10. Look here, he add each thing alone. He start with the fractions. 4 out of 10 plus 2 out of 10. It's easily, we can add them. They are like fractions. So 4 plus 2 equals 6 up. And down we write the same 10. So it's 6 out of 10. But this fraction, we need to simplify it. We can simplify 6 out of 10 using divided by up and down by 2. Why exactly by 2? Because 6 and 10, they are even numbers. So we can divide up and down by 2. If we divide up and down by 2, we get 3 out of 5. Let's write 3 out of 5 here. I will tell you why we write it here at the end. Now we add the all numbers. 3 plus 6 equals what? Yes, very good. It's equals 9. So we write the 9 here and here also. And here, if you want, we can write 3 out of 5 here, and then simplifying for the first fraction. Okay, so the answer, again, we add 3 plus 6, it's 9, and 4 out of 10 plus 2 out of 10, it's 6 out of 10, but we simplified it into 3 out of 5. Okay, right. What about example? That's about example number 1. Example number 2, 7 and 6 out of 12 plus 4 out of 12. The same. We don't waste our time. So 7 plus 4, it's 11. Okay, and 6 out of 12 plus 3 out of 12, it's 9 out of 12. Okay, so we can simplify also 9 out of 12 using divided by. We can divide 9 and 12, yes, by which number? By 3. Very good. We can divide up and down by 3, so we get, can write the 3 one time here like that. If we divide up and down by 3, we get 3 out of 4, because 9 divided by 3 is 3, and 12 divided by 3 it's 4. So the right answer here, it's 11 and 3 out of 4. Example number 3, exercise number 3. Here is 1 and 2 out of 3. Here 1 and 2 out of 3 plus 7 and 2 out of 4. Now we have unlike fractions. We need some steps to make them like fractions. If you remember, here we need too small again. Here we need some steps to add 2/3 plus 2/4. They are not the same denominators, so we need to get LCM for them. LCM for 3 and 4, it's 12. So we write 12 here and here for 3 and 4. The changes from 3 to 12, we multiply it by 4. So we multiply 2 by 4 up, it's 8. And also from 4 to 12, we multiply by 3. If you multiply down by 3, you multiply up by 3. 2 by 3, it's 6. Now we have 8 over 12 plus 6 out of 12 equals, it's easily to add them, 14 out of 12. It's 14 out of 12. But 14 out of 12, we need to simplify it into mixed number. It's 1 and 2 out of 12, because 14 has 1/12 inside it. Okay, so we write 1, and the remainder from 12 to 14, we write it up. So it's 1 and 2 out of 12, like that. And also we can simplify 2 out of 12. It's, we divide up and down by 2, we get 1 and 1 out of 6. Yani 2 out of 12 at the end equals 1 out of 6. So the last answer here about the fractions only, it's 1 and 1 out of 6. What about the whole numbers? The whole numbers, 1 plus 7, it's 8. But here we have another 1 as a whole number. So we add it to the 8, which we get it from 7 plus 1. Yani now we have 7 plus 1 is 8, plus 1, another 1, it's 9. So we write here is 9 about the whole number. What about the mix, the fraction? We can write the fraction, it's 1 out of 6. The fraction, it's 1 out of 6. Okay, the answer of number 4 and 5, you can do them homework and send me on Classera the answers of them. Okay, let's go for another part of our lesson. Okay, let's do page 261. and solve the practice exercises on it. Exercise number A, match each problem in the first row to correct sum in the second row. We need to match this row by this row down here. If we looked at the first one, 2 and 3 out of 4, we can add 2 plus 3, it's 5. Down we have only 2 5s, 5 and 3 out of 4, and 5 and 2 thirds. But here 5 and 3 out of 4, so this is the first one. It's easy to get the answer. The second one, 1 plus 4, it's 5. And we add 3 plus 1, 3 eighths plus 1 eighth, it's 4 eighths, by the way. If we divide or simplify this fraction using divided by 4 up and down, we get half. If we simplify it 4 over 8, we get half. So the answer is 5 and half. Yes, so it's 5 and half. This one here should be 5 and half. The next one, 4 over 9 plus 5 and 2 over 9. The same, 4 over 9 plus 2 over 9. We add the fractions, we get 6 out of 9. And 6 out of 9, if we simplify it using dividing by 3 up and down, we get, if you divide 6 by 3, you get 2. And 9 by 3, you get 3. So it's 2 out of 3. And also we have the whole number here is 5, so it's 5 out and 2 out of 3. This one. The last one should be this one, because 2 plus 2 as a whole numbers. If we add the whole numbers first, 2 plus 2, it's 4. And quarter plus quarter, it's half. So it's 2 and 2 quarters plus 2 and 2 quarters equals 4 and half. That's about exercise number 1. Number A. Exercise number B, add, simplify if it's possible. Here it's easy to add 10 and third plus 4 and third. So the answer should be 14. Let me zoom it in for you. So we can write here is 14. And as a whole numbers, because 10 plus 4 is 14, and the fractions 1/3 plus 1/3 equals 2/3. So it's 14 and 2/3. We can do also number 2. We can add the whole numbers also. It's 5. Okay, and then notice that it's not easy here. 4 over 7 plus 3 over 7, it's 7 out of 7. Now we have 5 and 7 out of 7. You remember that 7 out of 7 equals, yes, very good, equals 1. So we have a whole number, it's 1. We add it to the 5, so the 5 becomes, yes, 6. So the answer, we can still write 5 and 7 out of 7, and the last answer is 6. We can write like that. The last answer is 6, or we can write 6 here also. Again, number 2, 2 plus 3 equals 5 as a whole number, but the fractions, we get a fraction equals 1, because 4 over 7 plus 3 over 7 equals 7 out of 7, and 7 out of 7 equals 1. This 7 out of 7 equals 1, so we add the 1 to the 5, the 5 becomes 6. That's about number 2. Number 3, 5 and 3 out of 10 plus 5 out of 10. So it's 5 and 5 at the whole number, and the fractions 3 plus 5, it's 8 out of 10. We need only to simplify this fraction from 8 out of 10. If we divide up and down by 2, we get 4 out of 5. But don't forget the 5 as a whole number. So we can write it's the answer is 5 and 4 out of 5. That's about number 3. Number 4, we add 8 plus 11 equals 17. Let me write it. 17. 8 plus 11 equals 17. And the fractions, 3 plus 3, it's 6 out of 8. Let me write it out here. 6 out of 8. If we divide up and down by 2, because 6 and 8, they are even numbers, so we get 3 up and 4 down. So the answer is 17 and 3 out of 4. Number 5 and 6, you can do them homework. Number 5 and 6. It's for you. Let's go down and solve number C. Number C depends on unlike fractions. If you can see here, it changed things. Number 1, 1 and 3 out of 8 plus 2 and 1 out of 4. Easily we can add the whole numbers alone, and the problem to add the fractions. So we need to add 3 out of 8 plus 1 out of 4. We need to make them like fractions. They are unlike fractions. So we need to make LCM for 8 and 4. I told you in the last term, if you have a big number and a small number, if the big number in the denominator is the multiple of the other denominator, so we can take the big number as the LCM for them. So we can take the 8 as the LCM for 8 and 4. And the first fraction, we don't change anything, so we write it the same. We write it the same for 3 up about the 3/8. What about 1/4? We changed the 4 into 8, so we multiply it by 2. So we multiply up the 1 by 2, also we get 2. Now we have 3 out of 8 plus 2 out of 8 equals, yes, very good, it's equals 5 out of 8. Now we have 5 out of 8 the fractions, and the whole numbers, we can add them. 2 plus 1 is 3, so we write 3 and 5 out of 8. This is the last answer here. We don't need to simplify anything, because 5 and 8, they have no factors or no common factors between them. Exercise number 2, here, like I told you before, we can add the whole numbers, but let's add the fractions first, because we need to rename them using the LCM to make them like fractions. Now we have 2 and 3. It's easy. We learned it before. If we have 2 and 3, we can get LCM for them is 6. So we write 6 and here. So we changed the 2 into 6, multiplied by 3. So we multiply the 1 by 3, we get 3 up. And this, the other fraction, we multiply 3 by 2, we multiply up also by 2. Now we have 3 out of 6 plus 2 out of 6 equals 5 out of 6. 5 out of 6 as a fraction, so we write it here. What about the whole numbers? The whole numbers, 5 plus 6 equals 11. So it's 11 and 5 out of 6, and also we don't need to simplify anything. From 3 to 6 in exercise number C, we let them homework for you, and can send me them on Classera, your answers, and you can get good marks for them, inshallah. Let's go down at exercise number D. Exercise number D, he need to add 2 and 8 plus 3 and 8 in 2 different ways. Simplify if it's possible. The first way, if we learn it, we need to add the whole numbers alone and the fractions alone. 2 plus 3, it's easy. 2 plus 3 equals 5. So we write here 5. What about the fractions? The fractions, it's 1/8 plus 1/8. It's easy, they are like fractions, so we can add them easily. 1 plus 1 up, it's 2, and down, we write the same 8. Here we need only one step to simplify this fraction up, which is, this fraction is 2 out of 8. It's 1 out of 4. Why? Because we divide up and down by 2 because they are even numbers, both 2 and 8. So we write don't forget to write the 5. So the answer is 5 1/4 or 5 1/4 at the end. And that's about the first way. The second way depends on, if you remember, on converting the mixed numbers into improper fraction. Now we need to multiply the whole number by the denominator, 2 by 8. And then we add the numerator to them. 2 by 8 equals 16. 16 plus 1, it's 17. So we write here is 17. 17 over 8. Like that. What about the second fraction? The same idea. We multiply 3 by 8 and then we add 1. 3 by 8 it's 24. 24 plus 1 it's 25. Now they are fractions, and also easily they are like fractions, so we can add the numerators and then we write the denominator the same. We write the denominator the same. We write 8 down and up. 7 plus 5 it's 12. 2 and carry up 1. The 1 plus 1 is 2. 2 plus 2 is 4. So it's 42 over 8. But 42 over 8, you learn it that it's if the numerator more than or bigger than the denominator, we call it improper fraction. We need to simplify it into mixed number. 42 divided by 8 equals 42 divided by 8, teacher, it's 5, because 5 multiplied by 8 it's 40, and we can write 2, it's a remainder from 40 to 42, and down we write 8. Now it's time to divide or simplify, so we write the same 5, don't forget, and the fraction from 2 eighths we simplified it into 1/4. So the right answer at the end, it's 1 out of 5 and 1 out of 4. The same answer from both ways. Look here, the same answer, 5 and 1 out of 4. I hope all of you understand this lesson. See you in next lessons, inshallah. Goodbye.